Chapter 20. The things stepmother told them held both of the girls spellbound. Emperor Hung Wu wanted all of China to be united. As the son of heaven, he was China's leader, both morally and politically. He was the one and only person who could mediate between the heavens and the earth, and he had decided that customs that varied from province to province interfered with the harmonious functioning of the cosmos. Instead, all festivals, from the local to the national, should be similar and follow the new ceremonial regulations that would ensure the unity of China. Our local cave festival will be very different this year, said stepmother, and much more elaborate. In what ways? Asked Wei Peng. Tell us. Well, there will be dancing and acrobatics, and I don't know everything, said stepmother, but one thing is for sure. People will come from far away to take part. Men. Who knows, maybe even the local prince will come. He hasn't taken one single wife yet, and all of the unmarried women are going to dress up beautifully. This is our opportunity at last. Wei Peng laughed with the joy of anticipation, but Xing Xing felt like crying. If all of the girls were supposed to dress up beautifully, she couldn't possibly go to the festival, for her clothes were nothing more than tatters. And the furniture you're having made, said Wei Peng. Tell us about it, mother. What is it? I'll do better. I'll show you. He assembled it instantly. Stepmother went outside and came back a few moments later, saying, "A one-wheeled cart," and she pushed it into the room. Wei Peng scrunched up her nose. That's a wheelbarrow. What are we going to do with that ugly thing? Well, you'll sit in it and be pushed to the edge of the festival. What? I don't want to arrive in a barrel like a bunch of radishes. No one will see. We'll go through the woods. That's why I wanted the cart to have but a single wheel. We can easily maneuver it. Xing Xing can grease the wheel with the bear fat so that it makes no noise at all. And when we get there, we'll stash the cart behind a bush, and you'll come out as fresh and happy as any girl with bound feet who is carried by a servant. That is a good idea, mother, a very good idea. And will you get Master Tang's slave boy to push the barrow? We don't need him. We don't? Stepmother looked at Xing Xing. Of course, said Wei Peng. Xing Xing is so strong. Half of Xing Xing wanted to object. She couldn't face the shame of being in rags when everyone else was in their best finery. The other half of her, though, grasped at any chance to see the dancing and acrobatics stepmother had talked about. And, after all, shame wasn't called for. Instead, what she should feel is humility. It was good for anyone to feel humility. She met stepmother's eyes and held them almost proudly. I'll scrub my dress and fix the holes, she said. No, you won't, said stepmother. I'm going in my mourning sackcloth, of course, so you certainly could go in your tatters, but you won't. She went over to her sewing basket and took out the dress that she had finished the night before. You'll wear this. Really? Haven't you worked hard? Don't you deserve it? Tears of gratitude sprang to Xing Xing's eyes. Well, what about me? Said Wei Peng. What will I wear? I'll make you something splendid, said stepmother. I'll go into the village tomorrow and buy red silk and gold embroidery thread, and I'll make matching slippers for your feet so they look like perfect lilies. Yes, said Wei Peng, you are full of good ideas today, mother. Stepmother tilted her head toward Xing Xing. Come here. Xing Xing ran to stepmother, who held the dress up to her. Try it on. Xing Xing turned her back for modesty's sake. She took off her rags and pulled the new dress on. It's large, said Wei Peng. That will allow you to dance better. Decent women should never be in tight dresses anyway. Xing Xing ran her hands down the front of the dress. The yellow was as beautiful as sunlight. Her fingers touched each claw of the dragon stepmother had embroidered on the dress. She was perfectly happy. Time to get back to work, said stepmother. Xing Xing turned and started to pull off the dress, but Stepmother's hand stopped her. You have a very different job tonight. Wear your dress and go to the spring behind the temple near the village. Drink deeply of its water and bring a pail of it back to us, but do not hurry. Instead, sit there and compose until dinner time. Compose? Said Xing Xing. There will be a poetry recitation at the cave festival. Everyone is supposed to compose a sea verse with tonal patterns modeled after folk tunes. Master Tang's wife told me that you are very good at poetry, and surely you know many folk tunes. You can represent our family. But what should my poem be about? Asked Xing Xing. Unloved wild geese with broken hearts, rain cooling the earth, suffering. You know these sort of things that go into poems. You can do this. Xing Xing had thought she was perfectly happy just a moment ago, but now she was so much happier. Her breath was as light as a hummingbird's.